Everything's closer to what they were. Business is back. I think we're a little bit busier than what we were before. I guess you could say new normal. A lot of tourism this summer that had no idea what happened. Did you not see anything on the news? We were devastated by a hurricane.
You know, looking back right at a year ago to the day before the storm and looking at what I see now, it's still mind-blowing. You know, as a matter of fact, I told my wife the other day, I said, you know, I'm blessed with two beautiful boys. And I said, at least my two sons was able to grow up and see this place what it was before it changed, because it was a beautiful place, and it still is a beautiful place. Dynamically has changed so much. So the last time we done the interview, none of this back parking lot back here was fixed. We have been able to get all of it gravel back, kind of leveled up. If you can see here on your left, there's a new garage placed here. That was due to our building sustaining damage to two of our bays, structural damage.
After we had time to process the flood and things that it still blows my mind that the amount of help and hands that has reached out, organizations reached out.
There again, both of my young ones got to experience the true meaning of a small community. You know, still to this day, I said previously, if it wasn't for the members of this community and what we call the good old boys coming together, I don't know when we'd have been able to access nothing.
Well, it wasn't just people throughout the county, it was people throughout the state of North Carolina, throughout the state of Tennessee, throughout really the whole United States come and lend us a hand.
You may not necessarily like your neighbor before the storm. You thought the world of your neighbor after the storm. You were here early on and you saw the devastation on this street. You know, the muck, people cleaning out buildings, rolling out their furniture, their appliances, everything they had was gone. And you look at the street now and you know, it's pretty remarkable.
I would say in general there's a hopeful, there's hope in the air. There's a hopeful sense that spruce pine will come back far better than what it was before.
It was so dark and so bleak. The last time when we did the interview, it was just destroyed. There was mud everywhere and things, but man, nature reclaims its own very quickly. This was the last building that took water. It took about 18 inches of water, but pretty much destroyed everything on the stage and all that. So here we are, a year later, and we're back in the same space where I did the interview before with my lovely lady, Laura. Probably the only thing you could recognize is maybe the cross that was in the background, but I would have never thought that it could come back this well and this much in this short amount of time.
That next morning, I'm like, there's no way. This is going to take years and years to rebuild what we lost just downtown. But now, I mean, look at everything. I'm running around like crazy. There's people everywhere. It's the most overwhelming feeling to just see everything alive again.
It's galvanized all of us into a really strong community, and a lot of the things that I think held us apart, politics, you know, religion even, all that stuff just kind of fell to the wayside.
I think just know that things are working, that a lot of things you don't necessarily see happening, but there's plans being made. There's people fighting to try to get things fixed. And there's a lot of us that are not going to give up that fight and try to keep moving forward and getting things done.
We finally finished, and it took us 11 months to the day of the storm, and we reopened on the 27th. It's been a lot. It's people have been asking me all week, Trisha, you don't seem very happy, and I'm elated. I'm jumping up and down for joy, but first of all, I'm so tired I can't see straight. But it's bittersweet. You and I were just discussing community, and I got a lot of people in this community that are still hurting. I have friends that are still homeless, living in trailers, and I'm worried about them going through this next winter. So I'm making phone calls. I'm trying to help people, see what we can do for them. Most of them can't rebuild on the land that they had, so they're struggling with that. So it's kind of hard. It's bittersweet. It's like I've been struggling all week. I mean, yes, I'm elated. I'm back. I mean, this is what I dreamed and prayed for. This is what I wanted everyone to pray for. But our community is not done healing, and you know, there's still a lot that needs to be done in our community. I'm just one tiny itty bitty little store out of this big scenario. People have brought to my attention that me coming back has brought a lot of healing for them, and so I'm trying to be very understanding on that. You know, I mean, it's helping everybody. It's bringing a place back where everybody can meet again and be happy.
And I've heard this referred to as the couch of the town, and people love that, having that couch back and being able to talk. There's a lot of us that come together at DTs because of mental health issues. We in public safety, just community citizens, and we talk to each other because that's huge in our mental health battle with everything that we've seen over the last 11 months.
I had the opportunity of visiting a piece of property over in Yancey County that Rebuilding Hollers is rebuilding a house for. And just talking to the property owners, you could still see and feel the trauma in the faces and in the eyes whenever you talk about what happened that day and what the aftermath of that was and what it meant to them personally. People still feel it.
Hear a lot of people say, you know, if it comes a bad thunderstorm here, if the wind picks up, if it rains heavy amount for a long period of time, I still hear a lot of people say they get anxiety over that kind of thing. So the mental side of things for people, I really believe that that's going to be a long process for years to come.
You know, not everybody's fully recovered. There's a lot of private property and a lot of individuals that, you know, have not fully recovered yet and are still waiting on some assistance.
We're definitely a little different now since you've been here last. We're building. We have 548 projects on our list. We have gotten 90 of those done. So yesterday we had the ribbon cutting at DT's. That was our project number 14. We've got all kinds of things going on. It's still really hard to think back of how far we've come. We have come a long way, but we still have so very far to go. So there's so many that are making progress, but so many are just now ready to start the rebuild process. So it's definitely been a very long year.
So yeah, we're in our new space downtown. We have moved out of my home, my yard, which was a little bittersweet. It's kind of cool to finally see some grass coming back at my house and get a little bit of work-life balance. Certainly the needs have changed, the needs have evolved. And there are still some supply centers running full hawk. I think for us, we've been kind of evolving with the projects, if that makes sense. In the months after Helene, Rising Light Relief provided over 15,000 hot meals to elderly and disabled residents in Mitchell, Yancey, and Avery counties through partnerships with World Central Kitchen and Mercy Chefs. But what it exposed was the isolation in the community and the food insecurity. So we want to create access to nutritionally balanced food that's affordable. So So I wrote a children's book in amongst all of, in my spare time of doing all this. But the reason why I felt like this was important, it's actually talking about the experience of Helene. But the big storm could really be anything in a child's life too.
I was talking to one psychiatrist and he said once the year comes around, a lot of weight rides on the anniversary. And so the anniversary is on its way. And so I think it's causing a lot of emotions, a lot of concerns. The podcast has really been a blessing because folks say they don't feel alone so much anymore because now they see their neighbor or someone they went to school with or their friend is going through the exact same thing. So they know they're not alone in their loss and in their emotions.
See, I think my tree's pretty and it's still standing. So as of the end of July, I'm back in my own home, back in the house that was flooded, that was rebuilt. I'm back in my own home. There's several things that still need to be done, but I think as a homeowner, you find that throughout your lifetime in the house. When I saw my home the day after the storm, I didn't know if it was livable or going to even be able to be saved. It just took me by surprise at how tore up the house was inside. And I just knew that I'd never live in this house again. Never knew, I would never live on this spot again. So I'm just amazed that I'm here. It's totally different inside, totally different, but it's still home. There's so many people that is behind me being able to move in my home, and it feels just unbelievable.
There's still lots of places that keep reminding us of yeah, it was rough.
We do have a long ways to go. That also cannot be overstated as well.
Thank you for everyone who has prayed for us and has financially helped us, who physically and mentally have helped us.
Keep doing what we're doing. Keep pushing. Keep coming together. And don't have people forget about us. We're still here and we're still working really hard.
There's a sense in which I'll talk about this storm to my grandkids. There's that, we made it through this thing.
It's our job to tell the story now, what we've lived through. It's our job to hold our head higher, to understand the way the world works and how we're going to get through the next one.